King Edmund was born in around 921. At the time, his 47-year-old father, King Edward, later known as Edward the Elder, was king of the Anglo-Saxons, and he'd been on the throne for around 22 years. He died when Edmund was just 3 years old, and the crown passed to Edmund's much older half-brother, the 30-year-old AEthelstan. When Edmund was about 6 years old, AEthelstan became not just king of the Anglo-Saxons, but the first king of the English. As AEthelstan had not produced any children when he died in 939, the crown passed to Edmund, who would have been about 18 years of age at the time. King Edmund ruled for a little under 7 years, dying in 946 when he was about 24 years of age. Edmund I grew up in a world in which his half-brother AEthelstan was king, and he even participated in the Battle of Brunanburh in 937 when he was aged around 16. As detailed in our previous video, this involved King Aethelstan's army seeing off an invasion by the King of Scotland Constantine II, Olaf the King of Dublin, and Owen the King of Strathclyde. King Aethelstan died in 939, 15 years into his reign, and Edmund ascended to the throne. Here he is in our timeline of kings and queens. For context, he was on the throne just over 1,000 years before our current queen, Elizabeth II, ascended to the throne in 1952. Edmund spent the years of his reign in an almost constant state of warfare. Whereas his elder brother King Aethelstan had effectively united the peoples of England by capturing York from the Danish Vikings, once Aethelstan died in 939, the Danes returned. Olaf, who had been defeated by Aethelstan in 927, returned, conquered Northumbria and invaded the Midlands. When Olaf died in 942, Edmund reconquered the Midlands, and in 944 reconquered Northumbria. In 945, Edmund pressed north and conquered Strathclyde, but he ceded territory to King Malcolm I in exchange for a treaty of mutual military support. Finally, in May 946, Edmund was murdered. Debates divided between historians who think this was a political murder and others who think he was stabbed randomly after intervening in a brawl in which one of his servants was being attacked. Edmund I was buried at Glastonbury Abbey. He did have a son, but he was too young to take over as king. Instead, the crown was handed to Edmund's younger brother, who we'll cover in our next video. Please remember to hit the subscribe button below to receive an alert when we upload our next video. You can also support us via Patreon using the link below.